U-boat U-20 sank the British liner RMS Louisiana on 7th May 1915, with 128 Americans among the dead, a violation of international law. In January 1917, Germany decided to resume unrestricted submarine warfare. The German Foreign Minister, in the Zimmermann telegram, invited Mexico to join the war as Germany's ally against the United States. On April 2nd, Woodrow Wilson, President, declares war on Germany on April 2nd. 4 days later, Congress ratified it, and the country was at war. The United States had a small army, but after the passage of the Selective Service Act, it drafted 2.8 million men, 197, and by summer 1918 was sending 10,000 newly trained soldiers to France every day. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, in 1918, the First World War ended. Civilians wanted to remember the people who had given their lives for peace and freedom. An American War Secretary, Mona Michel, inspired by John McCree's poem, In Philander's Fields, began selling poppies to raise money for the ex-service community. And so the tradition began.
Hi everyone, it's me. I'm Chris. I'm relatively a new pilot. Although I can't do charity flights like angel flights because lack of hours or the lack of IFR rating doesn't mean I can't start doing something good. Each year we remember the fallen and we remember the veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives in order to protect our freedom and our lives. We're hoping that with the passage of time, the younger or the next generation will learn to appreciate just as much as we do now. But how do we expect them to remember if they do not know? How do we expect them to understand if they don't experience for themselves who these people were? I'm going to be introducing you to someone that I met when I was working at Penn Teledata, only on the phone. Most people at the work knew of him or had them on the phone. Seemingly like a really nice old gentleman calling in with email issues. This was back in 2018, if not later than that. Since then, I have heard nothing from him or of him. I don't know if he's around with us still anymore. He wrote a book, and after helping with his issues, he would always offer a link to his book for us to read. He was a local person in this area from Lansford, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be introducing you to him. I'm going to be doing something, making sure that his collective stories are safeguarded, because the website they're the one is not the best, put it lightly, and it is not the most secure. One of the pages that I linked to it, though, on it has already been taken over by a German Bitcoin webpage, and it's just not right. So as I fly, I'm gonna introduce you to Robert Reichard, nicknamed Bob, and as I fly, I'm going to go to the Veterans Museum, show them a sample of his work, and try and get them to either include it into their collection or safeguard his stories somehow. No one has told me to do this. No one is sponsoring me for this. I'm just doing what I feel is right, because this man's history, this man's collective past is important to maintain and keep. He served, if not with or for all four branches of the military, which is unusual. And I'm going to be telling you about him as we go along. But right now, here comes the mission briefing.
This is the briefing for the mission today. I'm expecting very good weather, +6 statute miles visibility, ceilings into the flight levels, and I'm not particularly expecting any kind of trouble at all. Winds available, 13 knots with 0 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty good. And I am not anticipating any trouble at all. Okay, so I'm going to be taking off in a Piper Cherokee 140 32177, departing Gabe at 1500 Zulu. And then I'm going to be flying a direct course. If I don't get affected, I'm expecting to be at my cruise altitude fairly soon when I'm by Queen City, and Queen City should be off to my right. So it's going to be a direct flight, like I said. My first VFR waypoint is going to be the Green Lake. Then it's going to be Pottstown. There's not really much long distance. It's like a 15-mile leg between my Queen City and to the destination. However, once I get past Pottstown and I'm level with wings filled, I'm going to be sure to give a wave to Russ as he enjoys his upload Friday, and sure enough we're going to get some nice views of the city I'm expecting. So I'm going to have the camera on the window facing left out. I'm going to keep at an altitude of 2,500. The Bravo shelf is 3,500, so I'm giving myself 1,000-foot breathing room. I may, before I get to Pottstown, go up to 3,000, but primarily if I can, I will just stay at 2,500, just keep it simple. So once I am under the Bravo, it's just a 5 statute mile leg all the way down to Brandywine. Again, no problem. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to be monitoring Philadelphia approach, but I'm going to have the frequency for Brandywine and make it a relatively smooth runway. So I am expecting no issue at all. Get a Uber or a Lyft and get a ride to the museum, which is like 20 minutes away by car in Media, PA. And that is it. That's all the mission is today.
Hey everyone, it's me. I just got here at the airport. I was just doing my checks between leaving home and coming here. The batteries on the GoPros died, so I'm going to be having to do everything on my phone, unfortunately. But the battery on the hand radio also died. So it just goes to prove it's a good thing that you have pen and paper with you, not just rely on the electronics, because it does get cold here in Pennsylvania. So while I'm waiting for the fuel truck, I've just completed my pre-flight of 3217. I thought I'd show you the heater that we use to heat up the engine before we start it, and the de-icing equipment and the rags that they used. It's just basically gas thing, and then you put this tube inside in front of the cowling at the edge of, and then you put that, let's go and get that in fact. You stuff this in the nose and it warms up the engine for you to be able to start it. Robert Rickard was the youngest of 3 sons born in Lansford, which is located in the Panther Valley. My favorite part of his book is chapter 2, where he goes into detail by saying that we pick up a donut and a container of coffee from the Red Cross girls before entering the interrogation room. The girls were great, but they must have been selected because of their homely looks. However, our radar training officer dated one, and we nicknamed him Radar, because like Radar, he would pick up anything. Another part, he mentions that he gets an autographed picture from Jean Tierney in a scantily kimono,
he got autographed because someone in his tent, not knowing the consequences, signed it with his name, and he magically got this autograph from her.
So I landed. I'm here at the Brandywine Airport. Now I'm just waiting for my lift pickup to take me to the museum. So I made it. I'm now standing outside the Veterans Museum. So let's go inside and see what we can do.
So it was really interesting inside of the museum. Lots of great exhibits. I got talking to one veteran for ages. We was talking about the grants, the US weapons that they were hoping to get shipped out to them at the start, and then they basically got recalled. And then they discovered that they were putting they could fit British rounds, like 5 British rounds into it compared to the German 4. So they always made the joke of irons, in German counter 4, and then I could put ice shites and shoot them with the 5. And then when they actually did reissue the new rifles, they had to have a red band on the hilt saying that they can't have British rounds shoved into these US made rifles. The M16 would take like 3 rounds to stop, but the one on the top would take just 1 to stop a person. It was a very interesting time.
So that's it. I'm at Rara waiting for my ride back to the airport to fly back home. It was an amazing time in the museum, and I will get back to you once I'm in the plane. Okay guys, so that's my trip. I feel like I've earned my little pin for this time. I didn't get much done, but it was a really enjoyable visit. Brandywine Airport is good, so I'll see you soon.
So I did ask about Robert and trying to save it with the veterans, but I got a firm no that there was nothing that they could really do. I thought they could try and save their website or do it or secure it somehow. But I really don't want to see his website get taken over by a cryptocurrency in Germany, because it's just wrong. The 456 bomber group already has been taken over, and I really don't want to see the 456 bomb group association page that he linked at the top has already been replaced with a WordPress blog page. So I'm just doing this solely to try and save his site and make sure it's nice and secure for everyone to read in the future. So naturally, of course, I do apologize for the lack of actual real footage and cameras. It really did make me feel bad because I purposely wanted to use the GoPros, but as soon as I got into the car they were at 100%, and as soon as I got to the airport and checked everything, they were completely dead because it was that cold. Surprisingly, it was more than I expected it to be. But I hope you did enjoy what I could get with my phone, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video.
Hi everyone, time for me to look stupid talking to myself on the phone again. So I just arrived back, landed, I'm at the car ready to go home. I didn't get quite the outcome that I was looking for with the regards of trying to save this guy's website, but I don't consider the journey a waste at all. The museum was amazing, the people there were very nice. I spoke to one who was an infantry signalman, and he kept telling me story after story, and I kept being speechless. He was like saying, the one story he told me is that the army always puts you what you're not qualified for, and he had a deafness in one ear since the age of 5. So what did the army do? They put him in communications, and it was just story after story like that. And the instruments, everything that was in display was amazing. We gotta pay our gratitude to these people. They gave a lot, and they gave up a lot without anything in return, just because they did what was right. They were asked for help by the country, and they gave it. And without anything guaranteed, without any sake of their own safety. They put their lives for their allies, the English, because yes, America did help, and France and everyone. It was a truly combination. So in regards to Rickard, Bob Rickard, if anyone is watching this that knows him or of him, perhaps we can do something to secure the website, because I don't want to see this man's life history, life story disappear to some German BitCurrency word page. I enjoy reading these stories, and you do feel like you get to know him, and it's something that no one should miss out on. This year I truly deserve. I feel like I earned my pin. The museum is in Media, Pennsylvania. They survive purely on donations. Check it out. Go onto their website. I will put it in the description. Do what you can. Buy what you can. Just go and say hello. Admission is free to look around. You can press on the box, get to know the people that are on the box. And that's my challenge to you. Anyone at L3C or anyone. Find a person. Find a name that calls out to you. Doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what country they're from. Just click on that name and then research all you can about them and find out. Get to know them. And then truly you can start appreciating and remembering veterans today and forever. The only thing that's left to say is I respect everyone who serves their country. It doesn't matter what nation, you answered the call to help in what you believe to be right. So, in the end of the day, no one can argue with that. You put courage in a whole separate level. Thank you to everyone who served my adopted country and England and everyone. So, thank you, and I'll see you guys the next time.
I thought I heard the colonel crying, "March, brave boys, there's no denying. Cannons roaring, drums a beating. March, brave boys, there's no retreating. If I should fall in far-off battle, cannons roar and rifles rattle. Thoughts fly homeward, words unspoken. Valiant hearts are oft times broken. Will you go, or will you tarry?
It's hard to visualize the scale and ferocity of the fighting. Just on day one, there were 58,000
Moment
19,000.
lasts forever.
To put that in context, it's more than 5 times the total Allied ground force casualties on D-Day in World War II. Was forced on the British, not by their enemies, but by their allies, the French. A small section of trench lines has been preserved near Beaumont Hamel, scars in the earth which are still a powerful reminder of July the 1st, 1916. 7:30 the whistles blew and they climbed out of this trench. One of the most enduring and heart-rending images of this battle is of young men walking slowly forward into withering machine gun fire and being slaughtered towards the enemy over there through withering machine gun fire. The answer, surprisingly, is yes. That's one of the legends that is true.